Hey there, it is Koshade, and I am here to bring you another 2023 Mage Wars League match. And this is a fight between Knabbmaster and PowerOfMind. This is the Group B round robin stage, giant stage where a bunch of players fighting each other, and just kind of the meat of the tournament, really, where everybody just gets a lot of games. Really fun part of it. And it looks like we're going to be having an Adramelech Warlock in the top left. That's going to be Knabbmaster. In the bottom right here, playing the Forcemaster, PowerOfMind. I don't think I've seen a Forcemaster at a PowerOfMind before, so it should be fun. And I want to say that I have watched a bit of Nab games in my day. Knabbmaster has an excellent Adramelech Warlock. Using those curses just right, usually all the time, really shows off how strong curses are with this mage. And yeah, I'm really curious to see. Typically, you don't see like pentagram stuff. You will see some creatures, is what I'm usually seeing. But I mean, honestly, it's that curse game that I really love watching when it comes to Knabbmaster. And Forcemaster, a lot of different changes, styles that we've seen lately. I think honestly, the Pellian Forcemaster is just it's so versatile. You never really know what you're gonna fight. So it should be interesting to watch, especially with PowerOfMind playing. So good luck to both. And I want to point out that Knabbmaster has kind of been like our resident champion, like forever. It seems like he's been winning games for so long, and it's like who can stop him? um, Anyway, PowerOfMind's going to open with a 1 mana crystal, just placing to the left casually, no movement. Interesting. While Knabbmaster is going to move to the right one, casting an aggressive Battleforge. Love seeing this play. I'm almost saying normal to see out of Warlocks now. And a 2nd mana crystal comes out for PowerOfMind. This is a pretty normal opening when it comes to a Forcemaster, when you don't want to give things away. The double mana crystal. We're going to see how it plays out. Knabbmaster playing a 2nd Battleforge. This is reminiscent of a championship game, actually, where we saw this sort of double Battleforge style. Really interesting because they're both super aggressive. It kind of like screams at you to say, hey, if you kill one, is it really worth it? So you kind of get this interesting value out of them. And I'm always curious to see if both of these are going to get used multiple times, or if it's going to be a, like, you get 3 big things out of it, and then you go 1-1-1 or something like that. So regardless, we're probably going to see a lot of equipment out of Knabbmaster. I'm curious to see if he's changed his style from the last time, but this just, to me at least, is just screaming he's probably going to go curses very soon. Probably opening with Mage Bane has been pretty normal into a Ghoul Rat on the Mage, and especially when it comes to a Forcemaster. Generally more solo focused. Can do creatures, don't get me wrong, especially when you're like someone like July. But we have seen the different styles, like Thoughtspore, I guess, could be working. Keijin has been really showcasing how Force Phoenix with the Orb is really good, Symbiotic Orb. Anyway, let's go into the round 2. Knabbmaster is going to deploy 2 things, Cloak of Shadows and Leather. Very cool opening here. Now that is interesting because he has initiative here. So if he chooses to move 2, that Cloak of Shadows is going to bind him, but that means that PowerOfMind could move 1 to sort of get rid of that. And PowerOfMind going to counter that with a Blur. This has been a really old promo for a long time, finally coming to the game, where you can't just walk up and curse him, where you have to get more personal. It's an interesting card in terms of value, but it's reported by a lot of top players to be insane. Knabbmaster saying here probably Solo Mage is going to be fun. Solo Mage is actually interesting here only because the Blur is going to cost more over time, whereas Cloak of Shadows is kind of this front thing. Bridge Stroll immediately comes out for PowerMan. Love seeing that. And looks like a 2nd enchantment. I'm sorry, I just totally revealed on what those things are, but it's not really surprising. I was thinking it was either going to be a Bear Strength, a Curious Favor, Hawkeye. Regrowth also in there. But now we kind of know. I am terrible at that. I kind of wish I could do like a spectator camera, but unfortunately when you get the replays, you only have the viewpoint of the player that sent it in. So unless we had a dedicated spectator for every single one, that's just what you're gonna see. So yeah, so let's talk about PowerOfMind really quick. The double mana crystal opening, very non-committal, plays to that long game sort of aesthetic. You always have to question if you want to cast that second mana crystal. Seeing this aggressive Battle Forge was a little bold to cast it, only because you know he's probably going to hit you turn 3 or 4. But I think the blur honestly was a. I think I'm safe against certain things to be able to do this. Bridge Troll is an interesting choice here for a book. We have seen players in the past do mass Bridge Troll. It's really effective. It's countered by fire, which, admittedly, a Adramelech Warlock is dabbles in some fire here. So I don't know if Knabbmaster necessarily packs a lot of fire. As I said, I've normally seen the curse game being really strong. So we're gonna kind of find out, I guess, if he has enough to take out this Bridge Troll or not. So yeah, we're gonna go into turn 3 here, and this is typically this turn, maybe one more is usually what you see. Kind of like in chess, where it's like you see the first few turns, it's usually pretty rote, and then you kind of start going in the mid game where it could be less memorized. This is that moment where this is, I think, in my opinion, Master can totally shoot me wrong here, and that is he's played this mage enough and enough mage wars that he really understands when people do things like the blur counter, that he really understands like, okay, this is what I do when this happens, and his sort of branch of strategy goes that direction. And it's something that's in every strategy game, every good strategy game at least. So I'm curious to see, watch what Nab does in reaction to that. And that sort of reactive playstyle, that's why I like watching Nab a lot. PowerOfMind, he's setting a pace here with the double bridge troll. I love seeing this double bridge troll play. And this is sort of saying, look how much power I'm gathering. Can you counter it? And so it's the reaction is really right now, in my opinion, on Knabbmaster to see what he can do to deal with this pressure. Third enchantment going down on a Knabbmaster here. This is Adramelech Warlock, just super powering up. And seeing a 3 powered up Forceman or Adramelech Warlock, that's scary. Only because you have innate fire, things like bear strength, stuff like that, can be good. You could easily see a lash coming out of this, and when it's flame +2, let's just say you have a bear strength, that's already 5 dice with a 3-up burn just with a melee attack and a bear strength. You could further that, of course, with the lash, giving a +3 dice to that. But it looks like, Nab is actually going to be playing a little bit of the curse game, getting something on Bridge Troll. Typically, what you see out of a Adramelech Warlock, it could be a Poison Blood. Usually, well, maybe not usually. I see a lot of Mark for Death because it adds basically a +1 for the Mark for Death, and the Flame +1 if you use a fire attack, so an additional one. So having a +2 and then +1 to the effect die is super effective as Mark for Death. That being said, it could easily be a Poison Blood. And if you really want to go farther, it could be a Deathlink and just saying, all right, I'm going to use your Bridge Troll as a battery. I'm going to armor up enough so that he does basically 2 damage around. And just kind of hope that he's dealt with at that point. And so yeah, as I was saying here, so PowerOfMind really setting the power move here. I like to call this a timing attack, and that is he's looking to spend all his mana. I'm wondering if he has another bridge troll. He's looking to spend all his mana on just big creatures and saying, they're just going to go forward. You're going to have to deal with that. And then I'm going to go into whatever my next phase is, whether probably supporting them, but it could be other things as well. Typically, you'll see like a Battle Forge follow-up with Galvatar and just kind of casually powering up and then following through as like a second stage of a Forcemaster. So it looks like Knabbmaster is going to prep 2 things in the Battle Forge. He doesn't need to cast it, because honestly, I wouldn't be afraid of either of these dying. Knabbmaster at 19 mana. PowerOfMind at 16. I definitely want to say that PowerOfMind has board control right now. These equipments are great, don't get me wrong. But these two creatures, it is... I mean, Knabbmaster has to react to it. Otherwise, you basically get, like, free rocks in your face every round. And looks like Power's gonna plan a little bit more here. Again, this mid game interaction, it's always one of the hardest things, because it could be where the scales really start tilting one way or the other. What I like about PowerOfMind's play here is he's been channeling an extra 2 every round, and we're on round 4, so he's got an extra 6 mana over Knabbmaster. I mean, granted, I suppose that's wrong, because the Battleforge does channel as well. I guess what I'm curious to see is, can he keep up with this? Because he only cast 1 last round. Veteran's Belt, okay. Yeah, I mean, let me augment what I said before. He's able to do the 2 casts when he wants to get the economy. And while Power has the freedom to do what he wants, these free casts are really advantageous for him. Like, a lot. I see the Fire Shaper ring. Again, Bridge Trolls, they have that Flame +2. I would expect to see, like, Fire Streams or Flame Blasts. I mean, hell, even Fireballs could be extremely effective here. Fireball, of course, rolling, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if you have a Hawkeye, 10. That sort of thing. I do like seeing this play. This double Battleforge. It's pretty strong. And if you... Oh. He's going to cast Rust. Okay, so he's preempting some sort of... Interesting. He's going to reveal a Hawkeye. So he's preempting some sort of Rhino Hide play by revealing it to get the +1 to the attack. He's going to roll 9. He casts Firestream here. Hang on. Firestream, paying 4 mana, gets 4, 5, 6 from Hawkeye, 7, 8, and then 9 from the Curse. Very cool. And then a Firestream gets cast. And again, look how rolling an additional 9. This is why, like, it's so dangerous to have Flame, because this is actually very normal when you verse a Bridge Troll as an Adramelech Warlock. Just getting these really cheap fire plays. And that Bridge Troll only costs 13. I mean, granted, okay, he spent 4 on this, +4, +4. So he's already spent a decent amount of mana, and I think he's just hoping that burn is going to kill him. It's a little under what he should have gotten. Statistically, he should have killed that Bridge Troll, but now he's going to take a 5-die attack. Rhino Hide gets revealed. It's a good thing he revealed that Rhino Hide, because he has 4 armor now, 1 damage going through. And if I know Knabbmaster, he probably has regrowth somewhere in there. My guess is just normal, obviously, because of Vet Belt. And the Lesser Teleport got cast, moving that Bridge Troll to the left. That's moving, going to move down, roll 5 dice, gets 2 damage. Because again, he has 2 armor, leather, 2 from the Rhino Hide, and a Vet Belt. A third Bridge Troll comes out. This is a Bridge Troll match. I love seeing this. Let's talk about this really quick. Vet Belt with 4 armor. Oh, there is a regrowth revealed. My bad. No, there isn't. He's probably going to reveal it right during channel upkeep. Let's talk about this really quick. So, 4 armor with Vet Belt. It's a really sturdy play against 5 dice creatures. You're probably only going to take 1 or 2 damage. Like, the chances of rolling that many crits is pretty crazy. So, honestly, as a choice for PowerOfMind, he needs to start dealing with armor in some way. Acid Ball is a pretty good choice here, because he'd have to either get rid of the Rhino Hide, and he can't just disarm like a level 2 armor on him or something like that to drop the corrodes. So just going down to 2 armor means that all of these guys are probably going to do 2 more damage, which, 2 times 3, that's 6 around. That does add up. That being said, he could also Rust to counter the Rhino Hide, which, typically what I like to see is 1 or 2 acid balls and 1 rust, and that kind of deals with these lighter armor plays. That being said, we are in that range of he might be going up to 6 to 8 armor, which for 5 die creatures, that's really tough to deal with. Let's take a look at the mana count here. Is he going to reveal that regen? Looks like no. He's at 3 damage, so he could. But let's see what those burns did. So looks like the burns did 3 damage, 2 burns staying on, and then of course the bridge troll regenerates 3, which is totally fine. He just broke even. I guess he might just punch to kill it. Because there's really no reason to armor this thing up. I guess if you have heal, you could try and do that, but is that worth it or not? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so what does Knabbmaster do here? He is in range now, getting past the blur obscured problem. So he could choose the Magebane now. I personally think he's dealt with the threat of these trolls decently well. If he keeps up with the Battle Forges, he could probably keep countering the anti-armor tactics. So I guess what I'd love to see here is out of Nab is either committing to killing. He's probably going to punch this regardless. But the question is, what does he do with his quick? Does he start the Magebane just to start the process here? Or does he choose to Firestream another Bridge Troll? Do you Elemental 1 to get that Firestream? There's quite a few options here. And honestly, like, I'm sure he's also thinking, how can I get that regrowth online? Only because if you take that 1 or 2, you want to eventually deal with it. For a Forcemaster, I'd say once you're around 10 damage, you should start having the danger mode of I need to start dealing with healing or whatever defensively, otherwise I might die. So yeah, still I would say anyone's game. I think PowerOfMind got a little lucky to not lose this bridge troll, but at the same time, that could mean a lot of things. Okay, I take everything back. He's gonna reveal the regrowth. I was a little surprised when he didn't reveal this. So yeah, he's gonna go down to 1 damage from 3, and this is just a good play. Basically, the longer you get out of regrowth, the insane value this card gives you. So having 2 just start now, you're looking at another 2 rounds of 2 healing, and it's suddenly about paid for itself. Which is going to happen. He's going to be taking damage. The question is, how much does he really care about it? Say he takes 1.5 from every guy. It's about 4.5 around, minus the 2. I'd say about 2.5 damage around somewhere on there is going to be where he sticks. So he's probably going to want to figure it out with either Demonic Reward, healing another one, or, Lifelink. Not Lifelink. The Death Link. Or Theft of Life. That's a thing. Looks like they're going to take a second to plan here. I'm just going to go ahead and skip through their planning. And sorry if you guys saw that. It doesn't end anytime soon. Didn't full screen the game. All right, let's just go do this real quick. So no to play out of either of them. There's going to be a PowerOfMind is going to use the Forcemaster to actually cast a heal on the Bridge Troll. Okay. Rolls 8 dice, gets 10. Super lucky there. And, a combination of getting slightly lower rolls, but a good heal puts this Bridge Troll at a healthy 5. Means it's not going to casually die anymore. I wonder, actually, if Nab had a Firestream and if he was going to kill it with that. Knowing that your opponent has initiative, that's something to always consider when you're planning. If you're going to try to, attack spell, kill it quick. Ritual's going to move in. 5 dice. 4 armor, 2 vet. Gets 3, 0 damage. Remember how I was saying around, 1, 1.5? This is just it's a low roll. It's a little unfortunate for him. This is why Vet Belt is one of those... You need to deal with the armor or get piercing, which is dealing with the armor. or something that decently quickly. Let's go 1.5 here. Is Knabbmaster going to take an action here? No, he's going to pass. Yeah, he's just saying, just keep hitting me. I want to do my action here. Again, another 5 die. Only 3. Rolling under here again. The Vet Belt is going to absorb that 1 critical there, so no damage. This is kind of why the Bridge Troll tactic falls out a little bit. This is interesting because this actually feels like an old school game when Vet Belt was more popular. And PowerOfMind is going to enchant something onto the Warlock. My guess is it's a Poison Blood or a Rest. He's going to move 1. Okay. Knabbmaster has to do something here. Mage is out of actions, the Forcemaster. Alright, we have a cat. Hello. Okay. Knabbmaster's definitely thinking about this action. This is kind of like one of those committal actions. Do you let this Bridge Troll keep healing, or do you start going after the mage? He's going to move up 1. He's going to target Blur, and he is going to dispel that Blur. And I will say that Blur is especially helpful, just because against Knabbmaster's style here, just because a solo mage has a lot rougher time of dealing with this versus like a swarm style, which will be like a constant 1-man attacks. Whereas we haven't really seen Knabbmaster swing at all or have a need to swing. And then he's gonna enchant PowerOfMind's Forcemaster with something. Magebane? It's got 3 mana. Magebane Ghoulrot or Ghoulrot is my guess. Bridge Troll takes his action, moves up. Probably gonna have 1 or 2 damage. Oh wow. Okay, so rolls 7 on that. Getting 3 damage through to the Adramelech, so that kind of it doesn't quite even it out, but it puts it at a more acceptable realm between all those attacks. And I do want to point out that in general, playing this type of style means that low rolls sometimes isn't as big of a deal because it'll probably even out in the long run. PowerOfMind reveals Poison Blood onto Knabbmaster's Mage. The regen being cancelled as that 4 damage is going to stick. Poison Blood is actually a really interesting spell to counter him with, just because of how Deathlink works. Not that we're seeing Deathlink right now. And okay, yeah, so planning for turn 6. Looks like those burns got completely removed. This Bridge Troll's scot-free, just going up to 2 damage from 5. And this is exactly why Bridge Trolls are rough. If you don't finish them off, they just come back at you full strength. So, I mean, we said those Fire Streams got really good value early. Now it's just kind of, it's okay. Mainly because we saw a heal. So it costs 9 mana for that heal, and the 2 attack spells cost 8. So that's kind of evening out. And, we have the rust on here, but there is no armor. So it's one of those Knabbmaster can still get value, but ultimately, like, that regen 3 twice is giving power a nice little edge there. Knabbmaster with 13 mana. There is no reveal in the Forcemaster, so it's probably not a Ghoulrot. My guess is it's going to be a Magebane, and I'm guessing during deployment we'll see that Magebane get revealed. The reason why you wait for deployment is they can't plan it, so if they have a Seeking Dispel, they go, you revealed it, especially when it's, I guess not when it's not your initiative, but me just talking fast. So yeah, let's go ahead and just fast forward through this planning. Okay. The Ring of Curses comes out, and I made a little error yesterday, or I should say my last cast. When I was talking about the Enchanter's Ring, I was thinking of this ring, that you get the enchantment discount when you are revealing it. So my bad if you watched the, what was that, Aridigas Spanner game. That's just a little correction there. And one of my favorite plays is being done here. This is the most troll card I think they've ever come out with, and that is the Eye of Bale. You cast it onto your opponent more than yourself. This might as well read just like enemy mage as target. um, but I love this out of a Battleforge because you're getting damage out of it. But basically, Eye of Bale, of course. There's most likely you're not going to see demon creatures out of a Forcemaster, so you put it on the Forcemaster and you go, take some damage every round now, and it's cheap, 3 mana, and if they dispel it or dissolve it, it's insane because you're like, all right, I spent 3 mana and 1 spell point. You're to spend 2 spell points, maybe got a damage or two, and 3 mana. So yeah, it's kind of like Mage Bane in the sense of you get this little edge with it that's really nice. So love seeing it out of Battleforge. And that's why we probably saw the blur get dispelled, just so he could start having these targets. He's probably going to start retreating because he has initiative, and just hitting him from afar while these bridge trolls struggle to sort of keep up. Remember I always said that he was going to reveal Magebane before Quick Cast? That is exactly what he did. And again, this is just a little tactic. If he planned Seeking, it's a wasted card now. Flame Blast not going down. He is going to attack the Forcemaster with this. And he's going to reveal a Force Field in order to counter. Oh, what? I love seeing that. Force Field. It's really expensive. If you notice, PowerOfMind's at 1 mana now. With the upkeep too, it's actually pretty pricey too. But against a solo mage, it's actually insanely good. We used to see, still can, things like Wall of Thorn plays, just so you could be like, all right, screw your Force Field. Let's just get rid of all the tokens. And then the damage comes through. As we've seen sort of swarm plays or more, more buddy SWAT type, where it's like 3 or 4 creatures, Force Field's been kind of losing its edge. But I love seeing Force Field against a solo mage like this. Looks like Force Pull is going to get used here. Love seeing that as well. Bringing the Adramelech Warlock, forcing it into the fray here, meaning that Cloak of Shadows isn't going to be as effective. That was a great play out of PowerOfMind. And the reveal of Force Field is also so good because you spend 10 and it got rid of an attack spell. So you already kind of got value out of that. And that Flame Blast. Flame Blasts are so good too. Knabbmaster take damage from Magebane because, of course, this is a quick force spell. Go ahead and just 1.5 this. And notice he revealed the Magebane after getting this Ring of Curses out as well. He got the discount. And that's kind of a cool way this Battleforge is kind of converting it into mana for him. It's kind of neat. We're waiting to see. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like PowerOfMind is, or Knabbmaster is going to take his Adramelech Warlock's action here. He's going to target the Poison Blood on him. We're going to see a Dispel. Yeah, this is definitely the mini game that I've seen a lot of, is this Poison Blood Regrowth combo. There's clearly like a tier of you need to sort of keep that regrowth going in some way. And not that it's new or anything, but it's just a very interesting way to see this dynamic play out a lot. Ritual's going to move in, use a heavy club attack, gets 3, again, 2 under, holy cow. And that's going to deal 0 damage. Again, Bridge Troll's gonna roll 5 dice, gets 3. Again under 2. Holy cow. How many times roll under 2? This Bridge Troll's gonna attack, roll 5 dice, gets 6. So a little bit above. And PowerOfMind's gonna then say, screw this, 3 die attack. Rolls all crits, gets 1 damage. Forcemaster showing him how it's done there. Because he was out of mana, because he revealed that force field. And Knabbmaster's out of mana too. So end of round 6. Going to turn 7. This is a really interesting turn 7. Let's talk about who is in the lead here, right? Regrowth, Hawkeye, Rhinohide. He's going to go down to 5 damage out of 33. Whereas 3 level 3 creatures, and then a Poison Blood, or a Magebane with a Force Field. And not to mention Iobale. You know, it feels like it's still an even match right now. These Bridge Trolls, they're not doing enough damage to have it stick. It's because they're kind of rolling low, but at the same time, they're rolling low, and Knabbmaster has done the armor vet belt play. I actually wonder if this force field was a good call. Only because dispelling the Rhinohide or casting your own Rust or getting Acid Ball on something means that each of these guys, and the Forcemaster in this case, would have rolled or probably gotten an additional 1 or 2 damage. And instead of having a 5 die one, we could see a 9 damage Adramelech Warlock. As opposed to, you know, a force field that absorbs something, you're paying 2 upkeep, and I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to have an opinion on, mainly because Knabbmaster is only at 10 mana now, and he's rolling at best a Fireball or 2 Flame Blasts, right? Whereas reducing his armor now lets each of your little guys basically be a rock in his face. So I guess it depends how you want to race, right? This Force Field, absolutely going to save him in the long run, in terms of if he keeps throwing Fireballs or Flame Blasts, which he's not going to until this is gone. So the question is Knabbmaster either going to dispel this Force Field, or is he going to choose to just play the Curse game, get that direct damage on? I mean, there are things like Drain Soul, you could get around with it and stuff like that. But we'll see for the later game. I haven't seen this part of the game, but I think I've seen later parts based on what I'm seeing here. So I'm curious to see how this game turns out, actually. And just so we all know, Bridge Troll's back up to full life. It's so frustrating to see that. Almost dead Troll, literally 1 away, just now at full life again. And I think Knabbmaster's just kind of given up on it. I guess he might consider doing a Ring of Fire. But is it really worth it when they're just going to regenerate out of it? I don't know. So Iobale did 1 damage, and Magebane did 1 damage, so PowerOfMind's at 2. Typically, when you see these ongoing effects, you either want to get the regrowth going or get rid of these spells. Something along those lines. And when I say regrowth, it could also be Vampiric or Hand of Bim, something to counter this constant damage. Otherwise, the taking just works. Anyway, let's go ahead and fast forward. PowerOfMind's done. Here we go. What do you cast out of this? Leather Gloves. Okay, going up 1 additional armor. This is starting to be that dangerous Meltdown range, which is a card that definitely counters a double Battleforge play. And the other question is, do you get rid of leather or not when you're Meltdown, right? There's the Fizzle going down on the Rhinohide. Okay. So remember I was saying you need to deal with the armor in some sort of way? Fizzle's a really unique novice way to do it. I say novice because it costs 1 smoke point, not because a novice player takes that. But really interesting, bring him down to 3 armor now, and he has the vet belt. Its controller loses mana equal to its level. I love that. Really interesting card. I think most people would probably take Dispel or Disperse, but this is sort of this interesting reverse idea of like, and you lose the mana, and then the next round they're like, I guess I'll bring it back. Anyway, Bridge Troll is going to go and attack, roll 5 dice, getting an 8 damage on it, dealing 4. Well, that makes up for definitely some more dice on that. Overall, with those low rolls in the Fire Stream, it's probably about even now. 5 die attack coming in from another Bridge Troll, getting 6 through 3 or 6 damage, 3 going through again, rolling a little bit above. This is why if you ever hate dice rolls, go for the bigger creature, longer plays. Just the more dice you throw, the more even you're going to be. MS is saying pass. We're going to see another troll attack. Yes, we will. 5 dice getting thrown. 6 damage again. Of course, there's 3 armor. Dealing 3 damage. And that puts Knabbmaster up to 15. Yikes. 15 damage. Super scary. This is the, you're not going to die now, but if you don't start dealing with it, you'll die in 3 rounds type of situation. And it looks like Knabbmaster is going to move up. This is, remember when I was saying he's a cursed beast? This is the play right here. This is what I mean. He loves these curses and he's so good at it. And I really actually like watching him do this. Just straight up ignoring the clubs to the face and saying, all right, I'll just curse the crap out of you. Thought Spore getting casted on PowerOfMind. I love this spell. Yeah, when I ran Forcemaster in like Origins tournament, things like that, Thought Spore was pivotal for the longer game. And love seeing it now. And it looks like Knabbmaster's going to pay 0 mana because he wants to get this ring discount and reveal a Chains of Agony. Then we're going to go into the next round, which resets the ring. And he's going to reveal a Ghoul Rot, paying 5 mana instead of 6. Love seeing this. And then we're going to see the Eye of Bale also trigger because it was, of course, the end of the round. So, again, this is like one of those, like, I feel like when you start playing a Warlock, you look at these curses, you're like, I want all of these on the enemy. And then you do that, and then you die. But what I like about this double Battleforge play is he's getting those defensive cards up, and then he's casually playing it turn 7 or 8 on these curses. A lot of times you'll see the mistake, and that what I just said, and that is you'll see those curses go down turn 3 or 4, and then just die because they have no defenses. But Knabbmaster's doing such a good job of just eking out just enough just to counter what these 5 dice guys are doing. And when I say counter, I mean sort of countering. He's at 13 damage out of 32. He did regen 2. We, of course, know this is a face-down Rhino Hide as well because of the fizzle. So most likely he will be revealing that fizzle back again. Or revealing that Rhino Hide. My bad. Give a beer back from Knabbmaster. Let's talk about this really quick. So, again, think about these Bridge Trolls. They all rolled above average. I would love to see PowerOfMind continue this fizzle idea. Because this armor just keeps going up. I would love to see more stuff. I keep hitting that home because this is your damage. You're allowing other things to exist, such as, you know, these curses. It totally sucks, don't get me wrong. But you need that 15 dice, the engine, to sort of get the maximum output you can. And Fizzle's probably one of the simple solutions for that. But it's not long-term enough that I can say that Knabbmaster is really scared right now. And, you know, not there being no regrowth for PowerOfMind at all. Also one of those, in my opinion, mistakes. just because he needs to start healing in that sort of respect as well. He's at 7 damage, so it's not scary. Knabbmaster, in my opinion, needs to start thinking about, he's got the curses down. What does he need to do to follow up with that? And, does he play more defensive cards to deal with these trolls? Does he try to kill the trolls, or does he keep the curses strong? Like trying to predict what they're going to either dispel or deal with to go at it. I would love to see like a Theft of Life to counter a regen or something like that. I could definitely see Theft of Life on these bridge trolls, just because any damage they do may be countered. And notice we're at this interesting phase again, where Knabbmaster passed a lot. All the trolls took their turn, and then he moved up. Notice whose initiative it is right now. This game is very initiative focused. He's now saying, okay, you're gonna have to use your quick cast to force pull me, or your thought spore is gonna have to spend mana to do something, or I'm gonna move left, and these are gonna be some useless bridge trolls. And see these cards of PowerOfMind. Oh my. He's got some ideas. He's probably doing what we're discussing right now, and that is, does he deal with the curses and start healing, or does he lay on the pressure? I would love for this Thought Spore. I'd love for this Thought Spore to be a Acid Ball or a Dissolve Thought Spore. I guess you could consider like Force Push or something like that, but honestly, I think Force Pull is just better in this case. Um, Thinking of Thought Spores as like an Elemental Wand or a Mage Wand is my guiding point when I think of Forcemaster. And that is, they get a lot of them, they channel their own things, use those incantations to get your benefit in the now, that sort of thing. Grand Dissolve is sort of a long game, I guess, but you also get this immediate benefit, so I don't know. And, Knabbmaster hasn't played his second card, and he's got one in the Battleforge. My guess is that he's already considered where his mana is going to go. He's probably thinking about this Thought Spore as, what is this thing? Do I need to Fireball it? Or is it just going to be nothing? I'm curious to see if he Ghoul Rots it, or if he chooses to do something else like an attack spell to kill it. Oh yeah, so to finish my thought, he has initiative, so if he moves to the left, that means he can't force pull or anything from one zone away, so it just has to move up one. Just a little bit of an annoyance that might be for PowerOfMind, when especially when your mage is hurting this much. Hurting in the curse sense. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip this. And it looks like a Moloch's Torment coming out. Super good spell again. And notice how these amulets have this theme of 1 damage and then another damage from Moloch's Torment. Really enjoy seeing that. And not to mention these curses now open up the Flame +1 option. So if you need to rush down some damage somehow, granted it's a force field, but it gives you an option of saying a Dispel with a Fireball follow-up. Probably Flame Blast, but you know what I mean. Okay, we are going to see a Seeking Dispel go down against this card here, and it was the Rhino Hide that wasn't revealed. -2 potential armor. That's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, is what it is. It does remind me that Fizzle Seeking Spell used to be a thing that was really fun to watch. Okay, we are going to see a curse go down in this Forcemaster or Thought Spore. I'm not surprised at that. I mean, Magebane would be a decent one. Chant of Rage, very obvious. Mainly that you're saying, oh, he's going to run. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this Thought Spore has to move 2 to counter it. Just because how the wording of Chant of Rage goes. This was considered it still is, an extremely powerful spell, because for a long time, teleports were kind of like the big thing. Lesser teleports then, and at the same set as this. And Force Push. And this was kind of looked at as a pseudo movement spell, and that is, you're trying to say, I'm going to waste your actions, but get another advantage of getting you in a spot that I think you want to go in. It's kind of a cool idea in terms of, how do you deal with certain creatures and force them to just keep moving? And I don't know, it's just interesting. The melee attack, of course, is going to be moot because there's a vet belt and he only rolls 1 die. Notice this bridge troll movement. He moved 2 to the left. Remember, it's his initiative, so he planned this when he moved up last round. These bridge trolls now have to do this weird circling technique. That means next round, Knabbmaster's probably going to move down to the left one, and one of these bridge trolls is basically going to have a wasted action. So, really cool maneuvering on Knabbmaster's part. PowerOfMind's going to guard. He's got 8 mana. Interesting. I would love to have seen a regrowth belt out of power, just to start dealing with the Ayabale, Moloch's Torment, Gulrat. I mean, he's going to take damage, regardless. It's just mitigation. That's huge right now. All right, Knabbmaster is going to pay 1 mana. That is going to be 1 damage to PowerOfMind, putting him to 10, and then the Gulrat is going to do an additional 2. And, that regrowth, getting so much value in this game. We're at turn 9. Now Knabbmaster has taken the life lead, going from damage 11 out of 33, whereas PowerOfMind is 12 damage out of 32. The curse game is so strong. And looking at Knabbmaster at 14 mana, PowerOfMind at 18. This is rough because he doesn't want to purge himself, right? Because getting rid of Force Field, that's kind of brutal. I mean, you might as well just not pay upkeep if you're going to do that. But I could see a remove curse play going down this round. He's got 18 mana, so what is that? 8, 13, 16. So he could do that, which I would be all for. I mean, 3 curses, especially when one of those is level 2, usually just a good idea. 3 curses is kind of my big, like, do I want to purge it now, or do I want to remove curse it now? So yeah, will Knabbmaster cast anything on his forges? I'm guessing no, because he has 3 armor. I mean, he could do another leather, like a helmet or something, just to go back up to 4. I'd love to see him go up to 5 armor as his top, because he'll probably mitigate all the damage most of the time anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and skip through this. Just see what they're going to do. It's a rough planning phase. I think PowerOfMind is pretty clear on what he needs to do. He's probably just going to deal with those curses and just he'll have, if he remove curses, if you remove curse, he'll have 4 mana left. So probably just enchant yourself with a regrowth. All right, PowerOfMind choosing to skip quick. No deploy out of these battle forges. It looks like Knabbmaster is going to enchant himself with something. Another Rhino Hide, maybe. Actions phase. It's PowerOfMind's initiative. Don't dispel Chant of Rage and have it be Meltdown. Meltdown on Thoughtspore would be really strong here. So let's just see what happens here, actually, because I'm really curious. Go 1.5. I'm guessing whatever's on this, he can't even cast it this round anyway. So, I mean, Knabbmaster might have put a Circle of Fire on, to be honest, which would kind of counter all of these guys really, really harshly. Okay, remove curse for the Forcemaster. There it is. Remove curse going down. He's going to pay 14 mana, gets rid of all those. And then he's going to gain 2 back, putting him at, well, I mean, it was 16 and he just paid 14. So putting him at 4. This is a very strong play, remove curse. And this card came out because curses are a problem before it. Whereas this kind of tactic would be very difficult without, mass dispels or things like that. And immediately Knabbmaster is going to move to the right one and then just do another curse. I actually was wondering if he should do this first. That being said, he did move once. That means this Bridge Troll is now out. And also this Thought Spore. It has to move too. Looks like PowerOfMind's going to enchant himself with something. I'm guessing this is a regrowth. Is this a poison blood to counter? Who knows? Knabbmaster's going to reveal a Rhino Hide, being attacked by a Bridge Troll. Bridge Troll's going to roll 5 dice. Gets 7 damage. Holy cow, dealing 2 damage. A little bit above. Again, a little bit above. Now this other Bridge Troll comes in, 5 dice. Gets 2. Unfortunately, no damage. A little bit below. And so the Bridge Troll, because of Knabbmaster's clever thinking, just moves 2. And I have Bale's going to proc. Guessing we'll see a... Are we going to see a Gorat? Yes, second Gorat. And remember how I was saying Knabbmaster's really good at that curse game? This is what I'm talking about. He guessed that remove curse. And he said, you're not removing my best curses. And he puts on another Gorat. He says, all right, deal. So that's going to mean 1 damage from Aya Bale, 2 damage from Gorat, 1 damage from Moloch's Torment. And this force field, of course, that upkeep 2, absolutely wasted. There is no damage coming at him. And he has to pay that 2 just to prevent damage from possible flame blasts and such. Love seeing this. Are we going to see a reveal here of a regrowth? This card on the Forcemaster right here. Not seeing it. So let's go back to this. Knabbmaster did take a little bit of damage here. And looks like regrowth did proc, so 11 damage out of 33. Staying at that lower 10s. This is about right. He's just, notice Knabbmaster's mitigating that damage just ever so slightly with both movements and also just regrowth and that armor. PowerOfMind here. At 17 out of 32, he's past the halfway point. And again, I've talked about this, so scary now. He has to deal with these curses. They're going to run away with him if he doesn't. Taking the mana, PowerOfMind has 12. Knabbmaster has 11. It's interesting because in a lot of ways, a Thought Spore remove curse or Thought Spore dispel is appropriate against a curse lock like this. Because even if you get 3 or 4 uses, they're 2 even uses, I guess. They're gonna spend now fireballs or something to kill that Thought Spore really quick, and that sort of lets you like change the tempo back in your pace. Not to mention getting rid of the curses that way is really strong. I only know this because I played a lot of Forcemaster against curse locks, and your Thought Spores, they need to be used to get rid of curses when it's this type of play. Let's just do a check really quick. So we have seen 1 Seeking Dispel and 1 Remove Curse. So still more in the bank, most likely. Probably has at least 1 more Dispel. And maybe a Purge or some sort. Force Field just makes you not want to use Purge, though. Alright, well, let's go ahead and skip through this. Knabbmaster hasn't even started planning. It is Knabbmaster's initiative. And notice these Bridge Trolls are all clumped up again. The Chant of Rage is gone. It wouldn't be that unreasonable for him to pass a lot this turn. Hoping that these Bridge Trolls take their action. And then Knabbmaster just casually like walk 1 here. Or I guess here, that could work. It depends how much curses he wants to keep up. But I mean, moving 1 here, probably the best move. Like cursing, move 1, next round, you skip your quick, move down 1. We might see the Forcemaster run away if he moves here, though, so these are also good options, and then just moving 1 more. Love seeing this Moloch tournament get played. Let's go ahead and just go times 45 here. All right, so nothing coming out of these battle forges. 3 on one, 2 on the other, and immediately Knabbmaster is going to start his action by playing a quick cast. And it's going to be revealed as a Mage Bane. I love this. Knabbmaster, the Curse Master, I should start calling you, man. We've seen how many Mage Banes? 1. 2 Mage Banes? Cool. 2 Mage Banes. And then Knabbmaster is going to spend 3 and he's going to teleport. And again, remember how I was saying it's initiative? So he moves 1, spends 3, and the teleport just goes right in the Forcemaster's face. He's saying, you're not getting away from my curses. My Cloak of Shadows, fine. If you have something here, great. But mainly that Force Pull isn't going to work well. I mean, granted, he could just move up 1 and then Force Pull, which is most likely what he's about to do. Yeah. Okay, I was a little surprised that he didn't pass. Mainly because now he's taking all these guys to the face again. Just clubs. And, he's at 5 armor with Vet Belt as well, so maybe he's just not scared of it. The spell going down, he does target that Rhino Hide. He's going to go down to 3 armor, Vet Belt. So that, I mean, that's a good play if he wants to get that damage on. So 5 mana. Got to pay 1 more. And we're going to see the beatdown commence. Starting with the Thought Spore, it is going to melee? No. It does have a dissolve. Love that. Getting rid of 1 lever, putting him down to 2 now, Vet Belt. That is exactly what PowerOfMind needs to do to get this damage through. 5 dice getting rolled, 4 damage going through, taking 2, putting Knabbmaster at 13. Another Bridge Troll coming in. Another 5 dice. Gets 2 damage. Oh, those good rolls. Had so much armor, and now he's getting bad rolls again. Another 5 dice. Gets 2 again. Oh, that is unfortunate. Knabbmaster only at 13 out of 33. PowerOfMind at 19 out of 30. He's going to GG. I must win next turn or I lose. Okay, so that speaks a lot about what's in PowerOfMind's deck. When someone says something like that, don't stop playing. Because if you stop playing well, you might just get crushed. 15 dice into 2 armor. I did what, 3 damage? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that did suck. Don't get me wrong. He was rolling well before, and I wouldn't say that you should look at 1 round and say, well, clearly all the math was bad, because I would disagree with that. Mathematically, I win unless you had something planned to counter that. Yeah, there's a little trap of thinking mathematical because this isn't really a determined game, whereas math is very determined. There's the RNG is what you have to play for, and sometimes you go, oh, I have 7 dice and you need to get 7 damage. Let's hope it's normal, but you really need to play a little bit different if you're relying on that to win. PowerOfMind giving a little bit of praise to Nab. I mean, how can you not give praise to Nab right now? He's I mean, okay, so we're seeing if anybody wants a little inside if you're not following the community online as much. But basically, Knabbmaster's been owning like everything, and we're seeing players like Enti and Biblo come back, and they're playing hard. Like they're playing a lot of games. And a Reedy fan, that's a sorry if I miss anyone, but I'm really waiting to see someone usurp Knabbmaster, and just because I see players coming in and they're really trying right now, and I love seeing that because like it's a challenge right now to sort of like really see who's gonna be the best player. And I'm just gonna do a little promo here while they're talking here for Knabbmaster's Colossus belt. He has an open challenge where you play a best of 7 and you try to beat him, and whoever wins against him at a best of 7 over the course of like a few weeks, I think, gets the belt, and then other people can challenge that player. And I think it's a really fun little thing that Knabbmaster started. But yeah, just wanted to give a little shout out to Knabbmaster because he's a cool guy. Anyway, back to the game. So let's take a look at this. So it wasn't because of this round of under rolling performing as the bridge trolls that's making him lose. It's the slow, steady curse game. The Gulrat with the Magebane with the Eye of Bale that's just ticking that damage. We saw one attack against Knabbmaster, and then the force revealed, and now Knabbmaster's just saying, no, I'm not going to win that way. And a lot of people complain about the RNG, but look at how he's working on these direct damage, just slow damage over time sort of plays, and it's really cool to see, basically. Anyway, going into upkeep, we are going to see Knabbmaster get that regrowth 2 damage. On top of that, he's going to go ahead and say, okay, PowerOfMind, you're at 19. Here's an additional 1 from Alex Torment. Here's 1 from Eye of Bale at the end of the round, of course. And then here's a Gulrat for additional 2, putting PowerOfMind at 23 out of 32. This force field, actually, I've been kind of knocking on it, but it's honestly saving his life right now. Because if I were Knabbmaster, I would just flame the crap out of him, just kill him that way. But the force field is really stopping that. As I said in the past, what you see a lot of times is just a Wall of Thorns force push that deals with any sort of shenanigans from force field. And since there is no armor, there's a potential to here, so you probably want to deal with that first. But that would sort of just win Knabbmaster the game. Just throwing ideas. So 2 Battle Forges, 1 with 4, 1 with 3. Remember I was talking earlier how these mana crystals, they are free mana, whereas these are specific. Knabbmaster hasn't had access to 7 mana until he has it now. But it's interesting watching that because Knabbmaster's at 13, PowerOfMind at 16. So it's something to sort of like always consider when you're doing a double Battleforge play. And seeing this dissolve, most likely we're going to see him deal with this in some sort of way. Because if it keeps up, it's going to be a problem. I would love to see I'd love to see either one of the leathers go away, probably one of the leathers, and then maybe the veteran belts. Probably one of the leathers, because then it's just 1 armor, and it's not really a big deal. If I didn't heal the troll, would you have killed them? Probably would have swapped to you. Unless the melee would have killed him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the melee attack would have been fine. But the heal probably did save him. You've had good Ring of Fire options all game. Yeah, he has. This is probably one of the best ones with the Thought Spore here. I'm guessing he doesn't want to spend the, I think it's 8 mana, it might be 9, to not deal damage to the Forcemaster. Right now, Knabbmaster is going, I need to kill your Forcemaster. If he diverts attention, that lets PowerOfMind recover. Like, it's clearly a focused targeting from Knabbmaster right now. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and go times 25. We are in deployment. And here's the dragon scale. right, all right. Um, that's probably the dissolve target. I see no reason to keep that on the board. It is, of course, the Forcemaster's initiative. I would take care of that right away. Really, whenever you have a repeatable incantation from a wand or a thought spore, you need to maximize its use. And removal spells, they are so expensive and so necessary in lots of situations like this. PowerOfMind's going to target the Adramelech Warlock. Dissolve goes down, paying 6. So we're going to see a double dissolve? Maybe? I like the dissolve in hand. I don't know if he should have done it right now. So just to note really quick, when it comes to dissolving, what are the chances he has multiple boots or gloves? Probably lower than what he has multiple veteran spells. So if you deal with the armor in some sort of way, that makes the veteran belt weaker in itself, as opposed to dealing with the veteran belt and he just going back up to full strength. Forcemaster Initiative, I'm guessing Thought Spore here. I have 2 mana. Didn't he cast Dissolve last round? PowerOfMind's going to spend the main action, spending 2 mana and a Mage Bane to enchant the Adramelech Warlock. Rust. Force Crush. Okay. So now he has 4 upkeep here and 2 upkeep here. Okay. He's keeping him in place so his trolls can deal the damage. Misplay this turn so bad. So if you took any sort of movement spells, GG. I mean, he still has decent armor. I like the Force Crush. I actually would have loved to have seen this earlier. Because he kept doing the move 1, his initiative move 2. Curse going down onto the Thought Spore. Okay. Is going to be a Gorat? And a curse going down on the... Nope, a teleport. Teleport 2 for the bridge troll. That seems calculated. 25 damage out of 33. The double Mage Bane. Okay. He didn't want to take 5 dice. He didn't want to take 3 damage. Okay. So right now, if these trolls attack, it'll probably do 9. With the dissolve, it'll probably do 12. He's got 2 mana. Thoughtspore takes his action. Cast that dissolve. Gets rid of those leather gloves. Love that choice. Get rid of leather. Oh, this game is cooking. Jinx gets revealed. Oh, that's clutch. That is so clutch. So 2 mana. Hold up. So the 2 mana goes back in the Thought Spore. The leather gloves doesn't get destroyed. Not revealing. So he is going to keep the destruction of leather gloves. What? He didn't choose to reveal? Okay, so the leather gloves, he's down to 1 armor. Now we're going to take 5 dice, rolling 4, getting 3 damage. This is where I joined, I guess. I think I remember this part now. I don't know if I agree with that. You need that armor. It's going to be another bridge troll attack. Because she didn't have 320 dice and down 7 damage into half armor. 5 dice from the other troll, getting 5. Dealing 4 damage. Ow. Knabbmaster at 18 out of 33 now. PowerOfMind 25 out of 33. So, I mean, notice how much damage he's stacking the minute he deals with the armor. Again, I'm not sure if that Jinx should have been paid for, because that would have saved 2 damage then. So, I don't know. I'm guessing he wants to cast Leather or something out of one of these. So anyway, let's go into upkeep here. There is going to be a 2 damage from Force Crush, which does stay on. A Recover 2, so that keeps Knabbmaster at 18 out of 33. PowerOfMind is going to go up to 29 out of 32. 1 from Mollux, 1 from Ghoulrot, 1 from Ayabale. And, oh man, he could actually die this round. If he casts 2 spells at 31, and then the Ghoulrot just kills him. Or the Ayabale, I mean. So, I mean, even if he doesn't do anything, he dies this round. And the upkeep from Force Field and the upkeep from Force Crush, that's going to prevent him from... Yeah, that's going to prevent him from winning. He needs to drop something, and then he needs to just win. Like, if he dropped the upkeep 4, he could have had 11. Maybe gotten rid of Magebane. No, Ghoulrot? Ugh. Yeah, no, I think this is just over. I don't think PowerOfMind can win right now. And the Drain Life, like, this gets around Force Field, because it's just attack dice. You roll for it. It's not actually an attack. So, I do remember this part. And that's going to be GG. I love winning this way. Drain Life is one of those interesting things where it's 12. And I actually prefer Drain Soul, but it's just more expensive. But the randomness of Drain Life is what's cool about it. So yeah, that's going to be GG. Nicely done, Nab. That was this is like a prime example of why Nab wins games. If you notice how close it is, he's like about to get the full troll like clubbing of death. And Knabbmaster, all he did was just play that movement just right, played his armor just right, and PowerOfMind had a window to get rid of that armor, and that's really what lost him that game. It's just the minute he opened that window, that damage started stacking, and he waited too long, just, you know, doing things like punching and stuff like that, where I think an Acid Ball or Rust or Dissolve earlier would have just been the answer. So, yeah. So, GG. GG to Knabbmaster. I kind of talk about this game all the way through. I don't really know if I have more to talk about. So, I guess let's just go over the economy really quick. So, turn 12, 4 mana on this Battleforge, 0 on this other one. He did a pretty good job of using both of these. Just kind of switching off and stuff like that. Whereas PowerOfMind really had that free, free using mana that I think he used pretty well with these creatures and such. This was really anyone's game, and it's really shows just how strong of a player Knabbmaster is as a solo mage. Which a lot of players say solo mages are kind of dead, and this is just a prime example of how you can still do it and it work out. So anyway, I'm not gonna waste more time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm actually curious on if you like my commentary, and if you want to hear certain other things, or if I'm doing things like avoiding certain cards. This card didn't even really matter, so I didn't go over it. But let me know. So, one final thing. If you want to join the Mage Wars community, there is a link in the description of this game that leads to the Discord. You can play with these players you're watching right now, because they'll probably verse you. And if you're newer to the game, they will probably, or other people will probably be like, okay, yeah, I have time. Let's learn how to play it. Like, all of these players at some point were new, and I have been loving watching these games, and it's such a fun community. And just feel free to check it out. This game is totally free online, so there is no money involved, and Discord's of course free too. So come check it out. Hope you enjoyed this game, and see you in the next game. I'm Koshade. Bye bye.